It seemed like Trump stays in court, don't he? What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to run down to you exactly what's happening with this next Trump case. And then at the end, I'm going to give you my thoughts about it. So let's first understand what this is about. Okay, it's called the Trump hush money case because Trump allegedly paid off Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal to keep them quiet about an affair he had with them each at different times back in 2006. So they say he paid them in 2016 because he was running for office and he didn't want the story to come out. And now they're saying that was illegal because Trump used money that came from his personal account, his revocable trust, which is where he put all his money and assets. But since the money that he paid was actually paid from his personal assets, it was to keep them quiet about his election, so it wouldn't hurt his election. So it's sort of like campaign finance money being used from a personal account, which makes it a violation of FEC law because he did not report the money that was used as campaign finance money. And they say he also paid back Michael Cohen, his lawyer who made the payments, paid him back over the months in a retainer that was coming out of, I forget exactly where, but he paid back Cohen and he did it kind of slick to keep it off the books, but I retained it for legal fees that were never given to try to cover it up. So it's a bunch of cover-ups. Allegedly, Alvin Bragg, the district attorney there in New York. So that's the case in a nutshell. You got Stormy Daniels, you got Karen McDougal. Both of them are porn actresses centerfold models or porn actresses, combination of the two. I know Stormy Daniels has done porn, but I don't know if McDougal has. But she was a Playboy bunny, and she's an actress, so there you go. So Donald Trump, he hired women. Well, he dealt with women that work for hire in the industries. Okay. So that's the initial basis of it. Now, we know Michael Cohen went to jail because Michael Cohen lied on the stand, and Michael Cohen facilitated the payment of this stuff, and then he didn't want to tell the truth or whatever. He did 13 months, I think it was, between prison and a halfway house or at home on lockdown type of situation. And now he's part of the witness against Donald Trump, and he's been talking ever since he got out of jail, doing his best to hurt Donald Trump. So now, okay, this is coming to court. It started today, and it's a feeding frenzy for all the people involved. So prosecution argues that Trump facilitated the payoffs to Stormy Daniels, a.k.a. Stephanie Clifford, through his attorney, Michael Cohen, to cover up for extramarital affairs. They argued it was an illicit catch and kill payoff scheme. And that went from August 2015 until just December 2017, just a couple of days before the 2016 elections. Yeah, okay. They say that Michael Cohen gave Stormy Daniels $130,000, that McDougal was given $160,000, and they were both supposed to be quiet. The payments to Cohen came from Trump's bank account, per the court papers, and prosecutors say 11 checks were doled out for these purposes, and that Trump signed 9 of them. Trump denies it. He say, first of all, he denies the affairs. He denies any wrongdoing. And he said he didn't sign anything. And he said it's all political witch hunt. They just after him to try to stop him from running in 2024 because they know he will beat Biden like a drum. Under federal law, any campaign expenses must be reported to the Federal Election Commission if those payments were indeed campaign expenses. And if they were not reported, this could constitute a violation of the campaign finance law. If payments are made through the intent to influence the election, they could be considered illegal campaign contributions under U.S. federal law. Individuals and organizations are subject to limits on how much they can contribute to a campaign. The prosecution argues that by disguising the payments as legal fees, Trump made false entries in his business records of his company. They argue this is a violation of campaign finance laws because it effectively hid these payments from the U.S. voters. And we all know voters would not have voted for Trump. They knew he had affairs. Right? Right? All right. If Trump's convicted, he could do 2 to 5 years. 2 on the smaller, for lesser charges, 5 on the high side. This also could include probation, parole, house arrest, criminal fines, court costs, inability to occupy certain jobs and own a gun, all types of crap, just to make your life very interesting. Let's get to the fun part. First of all, this is not about Donald Trump breaking a law. This is about Donald Trump paying women to be quiet about relationships they allegedly had with Donald Trump that were not against the law. It's not against the law to cheat. It's not against the law. It's bad. It's maybe unethical, immoral, but it ain't illegal. But they're saying that's not the reason why he's in court. He's in court because he gave women money who he thought were going to go public about that time they cheated with Trump 10 years earlier. And if it seems like a big fat waste of time, that's because it is a big fat waste of time. No one cares. The people that hate Donald Trump, they don't care if he did it or didn't do it. They just want him not to win in 2024. They want him not to be able to run. No one was hurt by this at all, even if it's true. Of course, Trump says it's not true. And the kicker is the prosecutors got to prove that Donald Trump knew what he was doing, knew that he was breaking laws, and that he facilitated it all, even though he ain't the only person in charge of his trust. He's not the only person in charge of how bills get paid. How many bills were paid during the course of an election that Trump organization paid for that Trumps can say, hey, man, my people paid that. Hey, man, that's what the accountants are for. Hey, man, what are you talking about? I got 2 organizations, I have companies and an election and all these people. Do you not know that running an election is a corporation? It is. And there's a lot of moving pieces. So Trump's going to be able to hide behind that. This just looks like another waste of taxpayer money, taxpayer time, our time, your time. Okay? It's crazy. And I know the Democrats are going to say, oh, Tim Black, you always caping for Trump. No, most regular people think this is a waste of time because it is. This is BS. You'll just hate the guy, so you want to throw anything against the wall. And you know what happens? The opposite. No one's going to be turned off by Donald Trump in this. They're going to go, what a waste of time. They really want to get this guy. Because everyone knows our political process. Well, most smart people know, who pay attention to politics know, that our political process is garbage, okay? That corporations contribute money in the form of dark money through super PACs and all other types of ways to contribute to campaigns. But no, we got to get that Donald Trump who paid that $130,000 to that lady he slept with that time. We got to do that because if not, we're losing our democracy. Do you actually believe yourself when you say this stuff? So what happens? The Democratic Party and the corporate media will be able to make millions and millions of dollars chasing around this story for the next few months, sucking all the air out the room, trying to camouflage the reality that Joe Biden is barely awake and that Donald Trump is going to walk away with this thing very easily. So they're doing everything they can to make money off Trump, like they've been doing. Trump has single-handedly kept the political news industry floating for the last 5-6 years. That's been Trump doing that. They've been milking the Trump cow. And they've been doing it shamelessly. If I don't know how many times. Look, I personally know people who have made millions of dollars, independent media who have millions of dollars off of Trump's name. Every video they put out has Trump's name in it. Every video. And they've made millions. I'm just not a sellout. And you know what? Those people are breaking the hell out. And they're doing very well for themselves. And they will continue to do very well. They're so happy. They're sailing on cloud 9 right now because Trump's name, this lawsuit, helps the business. And it helps the Democratic Party. And it helps corporations, which is the same thing. So 2 things. One is, this is a victimless crime, even if it was one. Oh my God, Donald Trump. He spent millions of dollars on his campaign, and they're concerned about $130,000 or $160,000 of it going to someone. You know how many consultants get paid to do all types of who knows what in a campaign? This is a drop in a bucket of a drop in a bucket of a drop in a bucket. This ain't even a drop in the bucket. It's the bucket of the drops that missed the bucket, that landed on the side of the bucket, that slid down the bucket, and then it's like on the side. This is not even a drop in the bucket of the crap that goes on in elections. And now they want to act all buttoned up like they really care about everything being done accurately. But when these bastards were making money off the COVID-19 shutdowns, they knew they were coming. These assholes in the Senate and in Congress who went and took their money out of stocks that they knew would tank. Those people get to walk away with millions. But you mean we should be upset and pulling their hair out their heads? Not me, obviously, but everybody else needs to pull their hair out their heads and frustration over Donald Trump's $130,000. Get out of here. For women that he slept with their permission in relationships they had over a decade, 10 or 15 years ago. 15 years ago, almost 20 years ago, whatever. 15 years ago, whatever, 20 years ago. We're supposed to care about this. And Alvin Bragg should be ashamed of himself. And New York should be ashamed of itself. Don't you got some rats you need to run out of New York City? Don't you got some migrants you need to house, or some homeless people you need to house, or a subway system you need to refurbish? You just got money to throw away on Donald Trump's antics, chasing Donald Trump like a bad reenactment of the Benny Hill show? What is this garbage? This is a Mr. Bean episode. This is a bad Mad TV episode. All I need now is Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish to do something to give Donald Trump a sponge bath episode. What is this? What is this? This is nonsense. No one cares. Most of America doesn't care. And this is the type of thing that makes Democrats look childish, petty, and desperate. And it's sad is what it is. It's pathetic and sad. So we got Republicans on one side going, nothing to see here, and Democrats going, this is everything. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Our democracy is being stolen. And if you don't realize that both sides of that are full of crap, that they're both corrupt assholes, that they are nothing but corrupt, spineless scammers scheming in a way to grab hold of power and to distract you from the real problems like poverty, a crashed economy, military-industrial garbage running amok, big pharma, sponging you, taking you for everything you got. Fine print on all those agreements that Joe Biden signed, like the student debt relief, full of all types of junk clauses and BS, and Trump with his stupid ass opportunity zones that don't have any opportunity for people. It's all garbage. It's all lies. We have to smarten up as a people, man. We cannot be distracted by this nonsense. But we are. We are absolutely distracted by the nonsense. Family, this has nothing to do with me liking Trump or disliking Trump. I dislike people blowing smoke up my ass. I dislike lies. I dislike having people waste my damn time. I dislike the games that they play with our lives. I dislike the gaslighting that's done every election cycle. And I dislike this running around, this bad Tom and Jerry chase scene that we're undergoing with New York and Donald Trump, just so people can get elected or so that people can stay in the good graces of the Democratic Party. It's pathetic. Look, my name is Tim Black. I need to know what you think. That's my opinion. This is just my opinion. You got the facts. You know what the case is about. And now you know how I feel about it, but I don't know how you feel about it. Put it in the comment section. Give me a 1-up if you think this is a waste of time. Put your 1s up. Is it a waste of time? 1 is yes. 0 will be no. Look, we do a live stream every Wednesday and every Friday. Tune in for that. If you like this content, become a subscriber. And better yet, become a member. Don't you like it when people tell it to you straight, when they don't waste your time, or they don't do a bunch of reading off of their freaking phones because they got an app that helps them read the content? Bored as hell with no actual passion or feeling in anything because nothing they say is real. They're just robotic. Don't you want something real that makes you pay attention for 2 seconds from a real individual like myself? I hope you do. My name is Tim Black. Like I always say, don't let nobody take your cornbread. I'll see you on the next one. And there's no way Donald Trump will go to jail for this.